Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, the T on NPD and relationships. Hello everyone, to all of my new subscribers and new family members. Hello, welcome. And to my tribe and family at large, welcome back. Thank you all so much for coming back and watching another video. Fam, you know I'm always plugging our Thursday night live stream. Listen, this is where we go from healing to wholeness to boldness. This is where we get into the crux of the conversation, the meat of the matter. Listen, it's not just enough to heal those cognitive abilities that were impaired through abuse and neglect. But listen, it is important that we heal from the inside out. All right. So that means that we have to have those deep conversations with the soul and about the soul, that we make sure that we get into those deep matters and begin to heal from the inside out. Because listen, unless we do the work, it will not get done. And so you don't want to ever find yourself in a situation like this ever again. And the way that we ensure that that doesn't happen is we definitely have to add Holy Spirit and put this word of God on our situation so we know how to move forward after the abuse. Listen, it's not just enough to heal. We want to be whole. Amen. We want to be whole in this thing. We want to live life in wholeness, and we want to walk in boldness. So listen, I'd love to see your face in the place on Thursday evenings. We're usually live around 5:30 p.m. That is Pacific Standard Time. Set your clocks, okay? Set your reminders, your alerts. If you're on the YouTube and Facebook platform, please, on the YouTube and Facebook platforms, set your notification bells, turn them on, and so you're notified when we go live on the channel, and also when we drop a video. All right, so you'll get that notification on your YouTube and Facebook if you're on those platforms. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, of course you're on the YouTube platform. But all right, so can y'all do that for me? Next, y'all know I'm about to ask y'all for your help. Okay, I'm about to ask you for your help. Y'all see little one right here, right? Okay, yes. So she's hanging out with mommy right now. So she's looking for some TLC, so y'all don't mind her. But y'all, I'm asking y'all do what? Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. Y'all, I need y'all to hit that like button 1 time, 2 times, every time for your girl. Smash that like button. Yes, can you do that for me, please? Thank you so very much. I'd love that. Thank you for hitting that like button. And listen, the goal of the day is 2.1K plus on the likes if you rocks with your girl. Y'all, come on, fam. Help your girl out. Lord, help her sister out now. Can y'all do that for me? All right, y'all, listen. And certainly also too, if you are in need of private coaching, please email me and I can also send you information for private one-on-one coaching. I am accepting new clients. All right. Also, last but certainly not least, yes, let's talk about it. The book. Okay. Listen, Seduced by Satan. The description is pinned in the link below. Make sure you pick up your copy. Y'all, I want y'all to really see in real time what happens when these clowns are able to really get supply and do some damage. You understand what I'm saying? This is what happens when they are able to basically finagle their situation, manipulate, okay? And these are unsuspecting individuals that have no clue what's going on. So I'd love for you to pick up your copy today. It's a page turner. It's a showstopper. It's a jaw dropper. Okay? It really is. And so I would love for you all. Hi, sweetheart. Hey, Bella. I would love for you all to pick up your copy today. Listen, pick up a copy of for yourself and for someone else. Recommend it to your book club. All right? All right, y'all. Let's jump into the topic of this video. I want to talk about today how the narcissist actually triangulates the new supply with your absence. Y'all, this is crazy. But I was just looking at some information in the comments. I mean, you know, I do read the comments on my platform. I may not read all of them, but I do go through them, you know, from time to time. And Y'all, the new supply is not having a great time right now. I just want y'all to really, really understand that. And not only that, when you look at it as far as from a perspective of, being the former supply and understanding, what that is like being in that, addiction ship with them, you kind of feel sorry, for the new supply if it was a new supply. Sometimes it's not a new supply. A lot of times it's that forever supply that keeps moving back into position. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not really new. But y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Narcissists do this. They are very skilled at doing it. They understand how it works, and and not only that, how it actually gets that new supply to conform and to also get that new supply to pretty much acting or behaving like you. Okay, this is how they work their web of, I call it brainwashing, magic, or whatever. But they get the reason they do this is they want the new supply to conform, and they want that new supply, especially if you were that primary supply and you discarded the narcissist, and the narcissist wasn't ready to choose a new supply. You just kind of did that out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? This is when a narcissist is basically when they are triangulating that new supply with your absence. This is what it does to the situation. Okay, let's go. Now, when the narcissist gets that new supply, of course, they're having the love bomb. They're doing all of those different things. Of course, they do that. And that is a part of, the whole, cycle. That's a part of it. Now, the thing about it, though, is this. The new supply comes in with their own ideas, how they want to do things. Of course, they want to please the narcissist. The narcissist is trying to please them or whatever. But the narcissist is not trying to really hear what the new supply has to say, because what they want is another version of you. Okay? They want another version of you. So what they're trying to do is they want to eventually have this new supply conform to changing, because the narcissist wants to control every aspect of the situation, of the relationship, the addiction ship. Okay, they do. They want to control every aspect of it. If you were a great supply, if you were that main supply that the narcissist is like, you know what, I want that new supply to be just like you. If y'all saw pictures of that new supply wearing their hair like you, putting on clothes that you did, all of this different type, this is evidence that this is what's happening. Okay, some of y'all saw the new supply dye the hair the same color that you have yours. This is evidence that what I'm telling you is true. So what they begin to do is what they'll accept the new supply, some of the stuff that they're saying or whatever they're doing. They want to see what the new supply can bring to the table. Okay. Once they see that, then they start making subtle. Some of y'all, this might have happened to you when you became a new supply. But they start making subtle suggestions. Why don't you wear your hair like this? Or why don't you wear this type of jeans? Or, these type of shoes? Why don't you like to wear heels? Things like that. If the new supply, maybe they like kitten heels. Maybe you were in stilettos. You know what I'm saying? Never know. But what the narcissist does is they begin to talk about you. Now, you're absent from the situation. You don't have anything to do with what's going on. You don't even know any of this is going on. But they will begin to talk about you and talk about the way you dressed, how they like the way you smell. You have, how you used to prepare things in a certain type of way. Some of y'all got to talk to that new supply, and the new supply told y'all when they got ready to leave that bird, that the bird, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know what time it is. I mean, it's the craziest thing. So, talked about all of these different things about you. Now, that's just to kind of lay the foundation to let the new supply know that this is where they're going with it. Okay. They're never going to just come out and just say it, but they just going to want to kind of let them know where they're going with it. And so the new supply will probably come back, say something like, oh, well, it seems like you like your women this type of way, or you like your, this type of way, or whatever. Well, I like to wear my hair like this. Well, why don't you? And then the narcissist, well, why don't you just try this? Next thing you know, you are nowhere around. You are absent. You've been long gone out the situation. But now you see pictures surfacing on the social media, or people are telling you, girl, why she got her hair cut like yours? Girl, why she got her hair the same color like you? She didn't never used to wear nails. Now she got nails on. All of these different things. Why? Because the narcissist, when they are not done with you, but you are done with them, and they know that they can't get you back, the only thing that they can do at this point is to try to turn somebody else into you. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. These clowns think they some magicians. They really do. They think they're some magicians. They are definitely high-level manipulators. We know that, okay? But they are definitely some magicians. So what ends up happening is the new supply has to walk in your shadow, and the narcissist is doing all of this on purpose. And there's another reason behind it as well. They want to make sure, reason number one, they want to make sure they can control the supply. If they're telling the supply to do all of these different things and the supply is not giving them any pushback on it or anything like that, they know that they have complete control over the situation, okay? The other part of that is this. They're triangulating them with your absence as well, because they want the new supply to not feel good about who they are. They want the new supply to try to live up to a standard or live up to what somebody else is that they have no knowledge of, basically tearing them down slowly. You understand what I'm saying? Can you imagine being compared to somebody that you have no knowledge of and that you don't know? Even if you do know them, you still don't want to be compared to them. You understand what I'm saying? But this is what's happening. And so what you begin to see is the evidence. You'll see them trying to look like you, talk like you, do all of these different things. When you're seeing them on social media, y'all, that's like a form of brainwashing. That's what they like. That's what they're doing to the new supply. They want to triangulate them with your absence so that this person will no longer have an identity of their own. You understand what I'm saying? They want them to take on your identity, period. Because they can't have you anymore. You basically left the situation. You let that bird know, I don't want no parts of you or any of this. You basically expose them. And this is why they do it. They are going to do this to the new supply most oftentimes when they know they can't get you back. When they know there is no way they can hoover you. To be quite honest with you, they scared. They're scared to do it. Because you left in such a way where you exposed them. You told them what time it was. You let them know, hey, I know what you are. I know what you ain't. And you're not about to have me bent over no barrels or nothing, because I understand what this is. And this ain't that, and that ain't this. And so you basically let them know that there was nothing else for them to come back to. That you can't call me, you can't message me, you can't email me, you can't do anything that will remotely cause me to want to ever be in a relationship with you again. So the only resort they have, if you are the person that they want, which if you discarded them and you did all of this to them, yeah, they wasn't even ready to go to another supply. So the only thing they can do is try to turn that new supply into you. That's a sad life to live. Y'all, I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, how can you be that manipulative that you are able? I mean, that's some demonic energy I'm talking about on some high levels, where you can convince a person that they are not suitable and they're not a good suitor, just based upon who they are as a person. That you gotta turn them into a completely different person through manipulating them and making them think that they have to compete with somebody that's not even there. Y'all, This is a narcissist for you. They're competing with your absence. This is what they make the new supply do when they can't get back to you. You understand what I'm saying? This is high level manipulation. This is some high level witchcraft. So when you see that the new supply don't like you and they stalking your social media and all of that, you never done anything to the new supply. You didn't do anything to them. But this is what happens when you are toxic. You know, when I'm talking about the new supply, they are toxic themselves, okay? They don't even know the level and the depth of what they're dealing with this narcissist. You know, because you left him. But y'all, when y'all see people out doing strange things and y'all trying to figure out why they doing that, why they trying to look like me, why they doing it, because the narcissist is, listen, they are triangulating the new supply with your whole absence. They want the new supply to become you, because they can't ever get back to you. And that's the biggest problem right there. That's the biggest problem. And so this is what they do. And this is how they cope with, this is part of the way they cope with with the loss of you, pretty much. All right, fam. So listen, y'all, I want y'all to really take this in. Don't be mad at the new supply. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is. But, you know, they just trying to survive with a whole bird. This backwards walking giraffe is doing them in, y'all. For real. They doing them 5 ways from Friday. All right? So y'all take really good care of yourselves, fam. And I will see you all on the next video. And I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Shalom, family.